DIY.
DIYers, good morning. I got my coffee.
I got mine.
You got first of all, before I say any words, first of all, good morning to you, Lumidee. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Good morning to you.
I'm doing all right. I just need my audience that is in here of DIYers.
DIY.
Please put some respect on my like button. I'm having coffee this morning with Lumidee. Do you understand? Do you hear what I just said?
This is pretty dope. Yeah. I mean, it's 8 a.m., 8 something over there. Right? Dang.
I'm not even gonna act like
early. Have you ever been live this early before?
I'm not even gonna act like I'm asleep. What you need that for? No, you are worth coming up. Like I've been looking forward to this.
Thank you very much.
Let me get into this quick intro. So today's guest, DIYers, is a singer, songwriter, and rapper from Spanish Harlem. Her 2003 hit song "Never Leave You," shot to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and had so many of us in an absolute chokehold. I can tell you vividly. But she's far more than one record. Her albums, Unexpected and 1013, to more recent singles like Honestly 3000 and Follow. She continues to evolve now as an independent artist. And to think this whole conversation started a little viral video that I made about her song, where I was coming to the defense because it's protect Lumidee at all costs. Please welcome Lumidee one more time.
Thank you.
What?
Thank you.
What? So that's my introduction for you. For those who don't know and have been sleeping under a rock, obviously, who is Lumidee in your own words?
I mean, you pretty much got it covered on the business end of it, on the music end. I'm definitely an entrepreneur, independent. I'm a mom. I'm an amazing friend, I'm like, I'm all those things, but I'm on my business right now. I'm on my business, and I'm very heavily leaning into my faith right now, and also raising my kids, and trying to stay sane in this crazy world right now. So
what you telling me is that you're not still at that block party?
No, absolutely not. I left a long time ago. No, not a long time ago. Maybe I was in the block maybe like a year ago or something. Maybe 2 years.
Right.
2 years ago, maybe.
Inside
joke. First of all, that is the line that I was like, I gotta follow him. When I heard that, like, it put me out. That was hilarious.
For those who don't, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like, what would make you think of these? For all I know, she's still at that block party. I was like, wow. Like,
because we ain't got no sense in here.
Insulting. I don't know. It was hilarious to me. It was hilarious.
Because they know I ain't got no sense in here, and they encourage that nonsense for me. I say things and they encourage this nonsensical behavior.
It was great. Listen, most people think this way, and not even children think this way.
Right.
I met a little girl one time, and she knew, this was a couple years back, so she knew, obviously, and I guess the visuals. So this is what so when her mom is telling her who I am, she's like looking at me, and she's like, well, how can, she's like, where's your outfit? Like, where's your clothes? Like, where's the hat? So it's like, I'm a cartoon, like, I believe she should still be in those clothing.
Right.
And so it goes back to you saying I'm still on the block. It's like frozen in time situation, and it's actually pretty dope though. It's cool.
Yeah, and just as a tidbit for those who are trying to understand the context, in this video that I promise I did not intend for it to go viral, I'm just a music fan I am an artist and a producer. I'm a music fan first who was just reacting to one of my favorite songs, especially in a very important year. It's the year I graduated, when that song skyrocketed. And so I react to this comment on Twitter that had me perturbed and disturbed. And I said, you know what? I'm about to make a video about it. I make the video about it. And a lot of people, of course, echoed that because it was a song, like I said, it had a lot of people in the chokehold. And there were people who gave their opinions or whatnot. And so as it started to take off and then eventually went to 1 million and then you followed me, I'm telling you, my heart damn near jumped out my chest. Because I was like, oh no, she finna get in my DM. Like, let me tell you one thing first.
No, I seen it originally, you know, and I thought it was funny. But then you know, I guess this was like probably what, 2 months ago? It was like, right?
Was it like 2 months ago? That's crazy. I didn't even think about it.
Months ago.
It wasn't that long ago. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Oh my God. My phone is
You're all good.
Crazy. Because long story. Oh my God. My daughter's harassing me to get Ariana Grande tickets right now.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
No, I can't do it.
Don't have me get in trouble. Wait, Mom.
Why are you calling me? Like, did you get the tickets? Like,
I am on their side because I don't need them now mad at me. Like, you was talking to Curtis King instead of getting my Ariana Grande tickets. What are we doing?
Oh my God! Oh Lord! Oh, I was in the waiting room, so it's not my fault.
No worries. No worries.
So what were we saying?
No, my first question for you was this. I said, you know, after you followed me, I said my heart, you know, as soon as my heart calmed down and I eventually reached out to you, I was curious. No, you got to get your tickets.
Oh, let me just answer this.
Answer your call. You good.
Yeah, I'm doing the interview. I'm in the waiting room. It still has me in the waiting room. It's not moving from there. Yes, Gia, I can't talk right now. Okay. I'll call you back. All right. Bye.
I love it. I love it.
Are you serious?
Thank you.
What did I just tell you though? I'm on mom mode, and it's like, working mom mode, but it's not easy.
All I know is you had an opportunity to throw me under the bus. If I don't tell you about the character of Lumidee, you could have easily been like, hey, it's Curtis King's fault.
I'm not gonna do that. Maybe later, but not.
Hey, let me get through these questions then. Okay, so I am curious though. You shared a little bit about it, but I'm sure I'm not the only person that, you know, just makes commentary on just things, like I said, that were staples in culture, staples in time. When you came across that clip and it hit your radar, what was your reaction? First
of all, I get DM'd a lot of things what people say, and I don't tune into everything because sometimes I'm like, why are you sending me this? Like, what is it? Like, and sometimes it's like friends. Like, did you not look at this before you sent it? I'm good on this. I don't use it. But I was like, okay. I looked at it first. I was like waiting, like, oh, let me see what this is gonna be, right? Yeah, whatever. So I looked, and I don't Google myself. I'm not those people. I don't like to look at things about me. So when I looked at it, I was like side-eyeing you a little, like I'm waiting to see where he's trying to play himself, right? Like, where is it that he's gonna get, like, but I honestly believed you, right? I felt it was genuine. And also I was like, was he not aware that this song was always off key? It's like,
Lumidee, I don't even believe
this was a subject matter years ago, you know.
I don't even believe you when you say it. What do you mean the song was out of key? Don't do that to my 2003.
Listen, this song was not really like, so I read some of the comments. I looked at it that day when it went up. And some people were accurate, you know. This was recorded on it was a blend, you know, DJ blends. You put another beat on the record. It was never recorded on a Diwali rhythm. So they took my vocals and put it on the Diwali rhythm. And this is why, hence that it's not on, you know, it's like off key with the beat, but it felt right. So
it did,
you know, it felt right. And you know, the DJ I was signed to at the time, that he messed with it and he just added a little more clap. So that's why he added a little things around it to make it more original. And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, sound good to me. It's like, sound good to me.
Look,
you know, yeah.
Y'all wasn't the only ones, because here I am 20-something years later and I'm still like figuring it out. Like I must have just tuned out everything. I didn't care what y'all talking about. That song, like I said, it hit me at a time where I don't want to get into the questions quite yet, because I do want to get into your origin story a little bit. But I just say this. That song felt very in the time period of where I was at. I'm graduating high school. I'm still like a little bit of a lover boy. You know what I mean? Like it felt, the best way I can describe it is dazed and in love. Like, you don't need the over the top love. I don't need, you know, the somebody with an umbrella dancing in the rain. That's not the kind of love that I want. This is that
you
kind of
on
like,
the block and you in love with the girl that's like,
you feel me?
Girl next door. That's what it is.
That's what I got from it. I got that energy of like for guys, your homie be like, man, who would have got you smiling? Man, don't worry about all that. That's what that energy was. But,
yeah, and that's really what it was, because
Yeah.
it really is a love song, and I wrote it about my first time being in love, and being with this person. Now, putting it in the club and all that, it kind of removes it from it being a love song, but that's what it was.
Right.
And ultimately, yeah, it wasn't perfect, but it's a feeling. And sometimes you make things perfect and you take the feeling out of it, so it like the emotion, that feeling is not there. So I've done this now, like where I want to fine tune something so much, and then I'm like, wait, I got to go back to the demo. I got to go back to the original because it don't feel the same, even though it's well produced. It's way better produced, way polished, but that feeling ain't there. So it's just like an authentic feeling, and sometimes we overthink things and think that things got to be perfect to be good, and that's not true.
I've met engineers and I've told them this exact words. You're mixing the soul out of the record.
Yes.
Like it sounds good. You followed everything by the book, but you're mixing the character out of it, the things that make it human. I don't want it to sound, so I completely get that. Now, before we dive all the way into that hit that changed everything, I want to rewind for a moment to talk about the early days. My first question for you, or my second question, I read that you began singing and rapping at 12 years old. Which came first for you, and how did both sides shape who you are?
Well, I would say rapping came first for me. Obviously, I grew up thinking I was like Madonna or Pat Benatar or like Salt and Pepper. So these were like my idols growing up. These are the people I'm looking at, MC Lyte, Queen Latifah. So it was a mix of like white pop girls and then New York hip hop, and so it was just like very, I don't know, I just love music ultimately, so the writing came from the poetry. I was writing poetry first, and that's when I realized that I had the talent for music to write songs, So, and I was freestyling in school, in junior high school, things like that, like battling.
Wait, were you?
Yeah, like, I mean, listen, I was a tomboy. I thought I was like super tough, and I mean, yeah. So that was me. So the rapping always fit me more, and I thought I was like, this is what I'm gonna be, like, I'm gonna be a rapper. So, but I was writing these songs. So once.
I knew you was a battle rapper. I knew. I don't know. I knew you was a battle. I don't know. Like my instinct. I told you he was on the phone the other day. I said my instinct tell me like this an MC.
You knew I was a battle rapper. You said.
I knew it without knowing. Damn it! It's just something about the delivery. Is somebody right now still mad at you? Not because of your success, but because you destroyed them at lunch during the battle. I just know it. Like they like. What you think of Lumidee? I don't want to talk about it. I guarantee you.
It was like, and I was shy about it, but when I would do it, it was like I was doing it,
You was locked in.
I was in. So yeah, it definitely, and it was just an escape, It was an escape. And so I felt that I definitely had the aggression and all of that build up in me. So the rapping just kind of just felt, like easy, It was just like automatic. I didn't even try to say, how do you rap? It was like, the words came out and now you're rapping. That's it. So I think that I'm a rapper first, but ultimately today I wouldn't say that. Like,
I don't know.
But
did you hear honestly 3,000? Did you hear? We gonna get to that.
When I feel like I need to go in, but it's not as easy as it used to be. Because I overthink things now. You get older, you just
I do too.
I
do too. We and ironically, we're the same age. So I know this as a rapper for 20 plus years. It is a different process now, and I almost have to go back to school to pick up some things that maybe along the way I couldn't get with just relying on vibes.
Because now it's different vibes. Like it's diaper vibes. Like, okay, what am I rapping about? It's changing diapers.
life is serious. When life gets serious,
it
it affects your imagination, right?
Yes, yes. You're not on the block anymore, but you know, you still tap in, you look at things, you go, you do shows, but it's just the things that we're going after are different. Our goals are different. The things that we
Yes.
want out of life are not like so selfish anymore, right?
Right.
So you just overthink things because you're thinking of everyone now. So
Mm,
that's pretty much. I feel like that's like my process now. Like before I make anything, I'm like thinking of what everybody needs and what I have to do to make sure everybody's good. And
right.
what I'm saying, like, is this the right thing to say? Is this the, you know? So I just pay attention to maybe a little too much, but I think it's important, you know, to pay
Yeah.
attention to the details at a certain age because you got to grow up. Like,
Yeah. And there's always an artist inside that's trying to figure it out. I had somebody give me a theory, a friend of mine. He said that you may be a certain human age, like I'm 40 right now,
yeah,
but your artistic age may be a little bit different depending on how much you've utilized that side of who you are. Like
that's
you have to find a middle ground between the two of them and then bring them.
yeah.
So I'm in the process of doing that. I want to talk about something that you proudly talk about, which is Spanish Harlem.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
growing up in Spanish Harlem, what do you remember? What do you remember most vividly from those early days?
man, the stoop, the block, like being on the stoop, like the summer, the New York summers is like nothing else. It's hot as hell. You go into the project pools, you go into Jefferson pool, you go into, you know, like man, I was just like I tell my daughter about this. Like on Halloween, we used to throw eggs at each other. You know, I don't know if they did that where you're from,
At
but
houses, I don't know about at each other. That's
no, at each other.
at
Like,
each other.
and if they caught up with you, it's on your head, boom, just like that. Like we
Yeah.
will have the egg fights. So it was just like I know that I'm blessed to be part of something that it's like it's foreign to some people. You
Mm,
know, like I came from a neighborhood where all knew each other, and even if we didn't like each other one day, it's like if somebody comes on the block and messes with you, they got your back. You
mm,
know, it don't matter. This is our like ain't nobody gonna come into this space and think they're gonna pop off or anything like that. So it was just a different time. I think the unity, you know,
yeah.
respecting the elders, that
Hello.
was definitely a thing. Like before, like even if you out there cursing and going crazy, you see them coming, you grab the groceries. Like the guys will grab the groceries, you know, or help them up the stairs and then get back to talking shit or even hustling, you know, even if they're out there
Right.
and they hustling, they gonna do it, but they'll stop when the elders come. So,
Mhm.
you know, we lost a lot of that. But I mean, that is what
Yeah.
I come from. You know, that is
Yeah.
what I come from. That's what I hold prideful that I'm like, man, I had a dope childhood. We had obviously there were the downsides of those things, like, you know, people being on drugs and things being like very heavily violent. But you know, we kind of have that now too.
Mhm.
So, but I think there was the beauty in all of that, you know,
Yeah.
of unity of people and neighborhoods and people not minding their business in a good way, you know, like
Yeah.
not for each other. Like,
Yeah. No, that's important, especially when it feels like sometimes society in this day kind of loses a lot of that moral foundation.
yes,
And when you don't see, you see somebody ready to pull out a phone before they helping the groceries.
yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean? To make fun of and go viral and all of these things. But
yeah,
uh, let's take it back to a simpler time, right? Let's take it back to a simpler
yeah.
time. I want to talk about the record that introduced you to the world, and that had a young Curtis King over here, like, all right, let's talk about it. So, to me, I don't care what you're talking about with this. I'm gonna just erase what Lumidee said to me herself about that record. The record is perfect as it is. It's authentic. All right.
Yeah.
It felt like I said earlier, a days of love, and I think it stood out in a time when artists like Beyonce, Monica, Alicia Keys, Sean Paul were dominating the charts. Did you feel like you were breaking the rules when you recorded it, or was it just kind of like a natural expression from your history of songwriting and singing?
Well, it was at the time, right? I was signed to a DJ, and he's from my neighborhood, so it's not like we had any major deal. He heard like some of the he see me rapping on the block, heard I rap, then was like, okay, you know, I heard you rap this and that. He came through the crib one time. we invited him over, and all my friends were like singing the song. He's like, what is that? So we're singing, they're singing my songs that I wrote. So he's like, oh wait, you sing too? And I was like, yeah, I do both. So he was like, oh, okay. Then next thing he was like, oh, would I got turntables, I got a mic in the house and everything. I want to pick you up to record that song I was singing. So I was like, okay. I knew him for like, everybody knew him from the block. So I'm like, okay, I'm young, I'm going and stuff. And he just puts the Uchiwali beat on. Remember the Nas Uchiwali beat,
Yeah.
beat at that time. And he's like, so we going through like, because obviously I'm singing these songs, I had no beat to them. I was just writing songs and my own melodies. So he's like, we skimming through records to see what fits this record I had that was called Grimy Streets. And we go with the Uchiwali beat. Another record that completely probably off key, because this is my first time recording.
Right.
And he sneaks me into the club. Long story short, he plays it. I'm not of age. I can't go into the club. I'm carrying his records to go into the club. And he plays the record. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? I hated it. Like, I could not stand the sound of it, everything. Then he was like, yo, don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. Like, he was just convinced. So after him playing it, a bunch, people just started asking for it in the club. And it caught his buzz. So kind of got this street buzz first, and so this is why I feel like the momentum of Never Leave You was built up already from the club scene of, him playing my records in the clubs. And then there were radio DJs that knew him, and they was playing some of my records in their mix shows, and I'll tell you, if people thought that sounded bad, I'm gonna keep it 100. I didn't know how to record. I did not, and I was learning my voice, learning what to do with it. But I had just a love for the music, and I was like kind of emo. I was in my feelings. So it's kind of like this emotional girl, these emotional records, but let's put a hard beat on it, And I think that's why it just captures this feeling, And and that's what happened with Never Leave You. I don't know if I went off or on, but
no, you good. Look, you cooking. I know you probably can't see the. I know you can't see the audience. They you got folks ready to cry before we even got to some of them questions.
For real?
This is why I do these live, because people feel like they don't know what's going to happen next, because we don't know what's going to happen next. But I love to have this energy in here. I'll highlight the comments as we go along here. But no, they're loving hearing these stories, because this is a hip hop audience, and you got such a hip hop story. Like, as you're explaining this, I'm watching it like a movie in my head.
Yeah.
Because I remember vividly the time period that you're talking about. You talked about how the song was first kind of like demoed in the clubs first, and then that kind of obviously created this momentum. Do you remember the first time that you heard Never Leave You on the radio? What was your reaction?
Okay, so I tell you, I'm weird, right? I don't like to get too excited about things. Like, I've always like, okay, it's almost like, you see, like, if I'm looking at you and you're saying nice things about me, I'm waiting for you to say something wrong.
Right.
I'm like, okay, all right, it's good. Right? So then I don't get excited. I'm like, all right, it's good. So I think that's how I used to, like, Never Leave You was not the first song I heard on the radio in New York of mine, right? They were playing some of my songs, like DJ Carmelo, Mr. C. Mr. C was, Carmelo definitely was showing love at the time, DJ Enough. So they were playing some of my records like in the mix shows. So I was not thinking that Never Leave You was gonna go that crazy like that.
Right.
Wait, what is happening?
No, that's Apple. I'm a PC user. Anytime you start doing stuff like this, and you start doing like this, for whatever reason, you just start shooting off fireworks. That ain't my business.
Why am I laughing so hard? I'm like, what is happening? What's going on? Like,
shout out to Steve Jobs. That ain't that. That's I promise it's not a StreamYard thing. As long as you know that I ain't did that. You're like, Curtis, what you doing?
Oh my God. What was I even saying? Oh, so
talking about the support that you were getting for records beyond just that record on radio.
I knew when it was something, when people started calling the radio to request it, and then it was like, oh, this is like happening, right? And then they were like calling the radio, and then the DJs were like talking about it. It was playing, and then there was this one moment. Rest in peace to Mr. C, but he was like, I'm listening, and that's when I felt it. He was like, if you a DJ and you don't got this record in your back pocket, I don't know what the fuck you doing. Like he just went like, he was like, I don't know what you doing, because this is, and then he just was playing it back to back. So at that moment, I was like, is this happening? Is this happening? Like,
it's happening.
I was scared. I'm gonna be honest. I was just scared because I was like, I don't know if I'm like ready for this, right? Because it was, then from there, it just came boom, boom, boom. It came fast, because we were bubbling in the club, and I was like, cool with that. And I'm like, okay, we doing these records, but it was really the unknown, because it was like the push out into the world. This is not your safe zone. This is not the people from the Bronx and from Harlem and, going to Rumba's nightclub. This is not Latin quarters. This is the world now, And when the record label started calling, because the song was just, it was like a hit already. It was a hit before the record company started calling, because it was just playing constantly. So that's when it kind of happened, like this whole bidding war thing. But I knew then when Mr. C said that, and my feeling was like excitement, but like scared
of the unknown.
Yeah. It was a little bit of fear, because I was like, what now? Okay, that means I can't be me. Like I can't be, like I don't know. It was, I felt all these feelings, and the truth is, rightfully so, I was right to be scared. Like I wasn't gonna stop though. I was gonna jump in whether I felt ready or not, because I was like, okay, it's happening for a reason. I gotta go in. So I was just going with the flow and going with everything I needed to do.
Look, just to kind of give an idea, and I appreciate you being so transparent about this story and what you were going through emotionally in the time. Just to give you a context, I got a homie from Brooklyn. I'm not going to say his name until I read this first. I got a text message from him the other day, or I texted him and I told him I was interviewing you. Okay. And he said, I used to have a mailroom job in Manhattan, and the office I worked at was a block away from Hot 97. I used to go and hand out my mixtape to DJs. I had a Oooh remix, unofficially, of course. I think it was Angie Martinez who announced Lumidee was coming up to the station. So I pressed up a copy and I waited in front and gave it to her. I've always respected her grind, man. Ladies and gentlemen, can you guess who that might be? Do you know who that is, Lumidee?
Yes, I know. Rob.
Yeah, that is the Brooklyn homie and a legendary journalist. Rob Markman told me that story.
Yes. You remember we did a quick call and you brought his name up, and I had to stop you. I was like, wait a minute. You know that you was talking about something of yourself.
Right. So, talking about the interview that he and I had earlier this year.
Yes, it's crazy. I'm gonna tell you the truth. My memory's bad, but the fact that I remembered him always, and then I seen his, journey with, like being what do you like a writer, like proper word for what, I mean, he's an artist, obviously. First, he's always an artist, but his journey of like being a writer and like blogging and doing all these other things, that it was like, I was like, wow, this is this guy. That's crazy, So like you never know who you meet. I was just like, and then when I seen him again in my mind, I was like, was I nice to him? I mean, I'm not mean. So I was like,
oh no, he had nothing. I mean, you know what's crazy? I've been in this long enough to know when somebody is being political with me and they're like, this person is a very, very solid person. I'm like, you didn't have a good experience, did you? With him, with him, he was like, he kept reinforcing that, like, your grind is something that to this day he still looks at. He says, no, like, she works her ass off for everything that every accolade, everything that she's achieved, she has worked for that. So shout out to him. He gave me permission to share that too. I'm like,
oh, that's fire. You see, I mean, listen, you just never know who you're gonna meet, and people are on their way and they're working. I just think, I mean, you just got to respect everybody, bro. And ultimately, I felt like I was just there. I was like him just a couple weeks ago, like with the mixtape. So I wasn't like it's like, oh, okay, like, so that's just dope though. It's dope how things just continue and people grow into other things and continue on that journey of music, no matter what, you know?
Yeah. And I promise the whole interview is not going to be questions about the song because you have a journey that we want to honor after that. I just want to make sure that I mean, it ain't every day that I can have coffee in the morning talking to my new friend Lumidee. Like, yes. Can I just be nostalgic just for a second with these questions?
No, it is okay. It's okay. You know, it's people usually talk about the record, but it's like, you know, this is a different kind of feeling. You know, I get it. And especially you saying there's a year you graduated, so it has to be super memorable, and it's like it's a time capsule, you know.
It's certain songs that just remind you of like that your own fear of the real world is what they kept saying before I graduated. Are you ready for the real world? And there's certain songs during the summertime. Come on, and that's one of those songs that I'm telling you, I'm gonna talk about it, but I went. Yeah, I was going to high school in Downey, California, and I went to Music Warehouse to go buy your CD. But we're gonna get to that in a second. When Never Leave You came out, it shot up to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, hit number 2 in UK, and even went number 1 across Europe. Did you immediately know that it had global impact, or did it hit you gradually as the rest of the world started to react?
Well, it did hit me gradually, but I did get a call before knowing that it was big like that. It kind of trickled overseas before like the major deal, because I remember a friend of mine calling, shout out to Paulie, and he was in Germany. He was based out there. He was in the army. So, and he was like, yo, they playing you out here. They playing your song out here. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, yo, it's popular. So it was like, that is when everything and the labels started calling and everything. So it kind of reached through, you know, it was early. What was the, you know, this was like when the online streaming kind of happened and they were leaking things on the computer. At that time, it was not like, you know, Spotify's and
it's like Napster, Bearshare.
Napster, that's what it was, right?
Yeah.
There was another one too. I remember
Bearshare, LimeWire.
LimeWire, yes. So I don't know if people were finding it through there, you know, but we pressed up copies of the CD, you know, so it kind of just rotated places and people uploaded it, and it was everywhere before, you know. So it was like definitely the grind to get there, and I think I would have it no other way. That was like the beauty of it, because it just showed me like you never know who's watching, and ultimately do what you feel, right? Like it doesn't have to be perfect. I gotta tell myself this every day, because there's things I'm working on and I'm trying to just be perfect. Like, but you just never know what's gonna be the thing, you know, what's gonna be the one that people are gonna gravitate to and feel. And it's usually not the thing you put all the work into. You know,
just talk about it. Good God. There's times that you obsess over something and you recognize that you're almost kind of glad people don't have the detailed ear, the critical, judgmental voice that we have about our own art. You're kind of grateful other people don't have that, because they're so easily satisfied by. First of all, I'm glad to hear from you, and second of all, I'm glad to hear new art by you. But then I'm also too. Music is such an emotional exchange with the listener. How can we determine what their emotion should be based upon the work we put into it? As another thing too.
It's true. So I think it's a beauty of it, and I think something just being like real when it was real and authentically recorded, and and of course clean things up, and you know, like make the drums hit, make this, you know, do things like that, but keep some of that you know, that feeling. I mean, listen, I've done this myself, and then I'm like, how do we get back to how it was? And then sometimes you can't ever get back to it. You know, like with the mixing and the this, and it's like, how do that little thing I did, like what happened to that? What happened? And you can't get back to it, and then you just leave it sitting there, you know. So I think there's a you know, just trust your emotions. It's a feeling. If something makes you feel something, I'm all about the intuition, the gut feeling, all of that, you know.
Yeah, I learned a new word this year that I wish I had earlier access to. Demoitis. I've never heard of
Demoitis,
demoitis.
yes. Woo!
Demoitis when
Demoitis a lot.
you fall in love with that rough draft and you like there like at first it sounded rough, but now it sounds like it's the version, and then somebody
Yes.
cleans it up and you're like,
Yes.
I like it, I guess.
True. Yeah, and then I get it. People get offended who worked on it, but you like, no, I think no. I think was it like Michael Jackson that I think they said he mixed like, was it Billie Jean or one of these records like 1,000 times, like something stupid, and then they just went back to the original version.
Yeah, see,
Prince. To the first version, and then that's the one that everybody, the world got.
I want to say Prince had a story like that too, where he was either, I think it was When Doves Cry, or it was it's one of those songs where it didn't even have a bass line because his heart wasn't in it. He was like, he didn't believe
his
in
heart wasn't in it.
His biggest songs, he didn't even put a bass line in it.
and he didn't follow the formula, right? He's like, he broke the rules without breaking the rules. He wasn't trying to break the rules, right? It just happens. Like things don't gotta, there's no real formula. Like the rules are whatever feels right, bro.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. So some of the last questions I got about Never Leave You. The song got an extra life with a remix that brought some hip hop heavyweights at the time into your world. I want to talk to battle rapper Lumidee right now. I want to talk to battle rapper Lumidee right now. The remix of Never Leave You featured Fabolous, Fabolous, and Busta Rhymes. How did that collaboration come about?
That was also radio. Them calling up the radio. So with Busta, I was at this time I was doing shows. I was getting booked for all the clubs in New York, and Cypher Sounds was on the radio, New York DJ, and I don't know how he was on. I'm in the car. We're headed to the next show, and he's like, "Yo," he mentioned, he's like, "Busta Rhymes just called up here right now looking for Lumidee," and I was like, "What?" So we called the radio station, like, what's going on? He was like, I have Busta right now. He want to get on your record, this, and that. So that's how that came about.
How did that feel? Busta Rhymes on your record.
Yeah. That was insane to me. That was like, I was like, what? He wants to, he was like, yeah, he want to be on your record. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm there. We headed to the next show, and it was kind of like, is this, everything was so quick that I couldn't really grasp it, but I know that I felt like definitely wowed by that, you know. And then what came after this, I had an interview, I believe it was with Angie Martinez, and Fab called up, and Fab was like, yo, your record is my favorite record right now. You know, so I was like, wait, oh, hi, Fab. I'm shy. I'm like I'm like, hi, Fab. And then I was like, oh, okay. I was like, at that time he had the record with Tamia out.
Yeah, he was hotter than fish grease at that point in time. Yes.
So I was like, your record is my favorite record, right? So I was like saying this, and I'm not even lying, because I had that, forget it, on repeat. So that's how that came about. Fab wanted to get on the record. So it was like, of course, you know, like, I mean, and to be honest, I really didn't have a say anyway, because at the time, I did have a say. I didn't know I had a say, you know, because at the time, you know, everything was in, like, the DJ that I was signed to, like, he was running the show, you know, and everything was foreign to me. I believe he knew what he was doing, and ultimately he got me there, right? So he did, to an extent. So it was like, okay, so we getting Busta and we getting Fab on this, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, you know. But nobody was like asking me like, are you cool with this, or not about this situation, but other things. Because this, of course, I'm over the moon. This is like a dream. Like, I didn't even believe something this big could happen, you know? Yeah. So yeah, that definitely was, that's how that happened. Yeah.
That's crazy. Somebody said I would have fainted if Busta Rhymes said, you got my favorite record, I want to be on your record. Excuse me?
I mean, it was crazy. It was like, I'm sorry, I feel like I was outside of myself looking at it happening, you know,
Mhm.
and it was like, whoa, like it was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely. And now the blessing of it all, and I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, wow, this is definitely a very original type of situation, you
Yeah.
know.
What
Yeah.
was the hardest adjustment for you when fame hit so quickly?
Oof, the people looking at you, the judgment, the this, and then like the same people that probably like would ignore you, now they're like acting like, I don't know. It was a little hard in the
Mhm.
beginning to go back to my neighborhood, right? Because I was like feeling different and feeling judged, you know. And I'm like, I'm just Lumi, right? I'm from the block. Like, this is the block, right? And first it's like, okay, they're excited, and then it's like people are excited. They want to take pictures. They this, they that. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm doing it, but I didn't know it would feel so weird.
Hmm.
You know, it just felt like I knew at that point nobody would look at me the same anymore. You know,
That's
and yeah, it was like the switch happened, and I was like, okay, what's happening now? Like, I don't know. It just, when I think about it, it like, of course you're excited and everything, but I think the thing with me is growing up, like I always, like I love music so much, and it was the escape from whatever was happening in my life for me, that I didn't ever think about fame, right?
Mhm.
I didn't think about what that meant, and I didn't really want it for fame. Some people who want it for fame are like probably hype, like, yeah, I want to be seen, I want to be. I had a problem with being recognized, being seen. That kind of attention didn't it didn't feel right. It still don't feel right to me. It still don't
Oh,
feel.
still to this day. Still
Yeah,
to this day.
yeah.
That's
I
wild.
mean, sometimes because it does feel good when people ignore, if you can have combos with people and all that, and like, I love connection, I love people, I love the fact that if somebody's excited to see you, like, I think that's fire. Like, of course I appreciate that, but just the being seen, like, I don't it's weird, right? You would think, but it's because you gotta post on social media, you gotta be seen to do music. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the part. If I had it my way and I could just not be always seen, it'd be better.
If I could just work on music and not have to deal with nothing, do what you, who you telling? Who you
Of course, it's like,
they wouldn't
yeah,
see
like,
me until I got a CD.
yeah,
They
like,
wouldn't see
love
me
the
until I got a
music,
cover
and then
ready.
that's it. You know, like, it's just the being, the being seen of it all, and the judgment that comes with that, because now people are looking at you and they're judging everything you do, like, where I could just go in this store and buy this, right? And oh my god, okay, here's an example
Okay.
so people can understand. So I was eating these like Cheez-Its, right? I bought at the store, and this was at that time. They were like some, it was a box of these cheeses. I bought it, like, went to the grocery store. I was like, okay, cool. I grabbed them. So I'm eating them, and one of the guys I was signed to, because it was like two guys, right?
Mhm.
He was like, what? He grabbed it from me and was like, what the fuck? You can't be seen eating that, right? And I was like, why? He was like, so the brand wasn't like a
Hmm.
brand, right? It was probably like Kirkland or something, like
Right, right, right.
like Costco's brand or something, right? So he's like, you can't be seen eating that. And I was like
Wow.
with this in my mouth, like, what you talking about? Like, so
Right.
I was like, what are you doing?
Just
Like,
snacking.
I was like, so he kind of like smacked it on my hand. And I'm like, he's like, oh, you can't do that no more. So we at the studio. So I'm eating it. I continue. Obviously, he didn't like take it away, but it was that feeling of, he's like, bro, you can't do that outside in public.
Yeah.
Can't, because now they looking at you like, look at, she ain't those ain't Cheez-Its, those are Kirkland Cheez-Its, so those are supermarket brand, like
Right. And that's before the social media that we know today, I'm assuming, right?
exactly. Because
Because now
imagine,
they all in your business. Now
yeah,
they'll hit you with one of those soon as they
and they will be zooming in on the picture of what
why
I'm
their voice,
eating.
you want a voiceover. Why are you eating Kirkland? What did you know that Kirkland supported this politician? Like, what are you doing? I'm a human
No.
being.
So that, I think that it's a little, I don't know if people understand, like you're just a normal girl, right? You're just a normal person. And now it's like, I got to think of all these things I didn't ever think about, or
Yeah.
why do I care about that? You know, so those things were little small things, but they, when they build up in your brain, it starts being like traumatic, you know, because you're
Mm.
overthinking everything, you know, like, and how they're going to judge everything, you know. And for me, there was no shortcomings of that. They went in on me, but I also became very resilient. You know, I built a thick skin because of it. And I knew that I wasn't perfect at all things. I wasn't like this amazing vocalist, but I knew this music was in me. And I know that I make dope ass music and I'm not going to stop. So I got to build this tough skin because they're going to keep coming at me, you know? So that's pretty much, yeah. I mean, I guess that's like an assessment of the attention and the how it felt, you know, in the
Yeah,
beginning.
I'm sorry. As somebody that is a fan of what you do,
Mhm.
you are an amazing vocalist, and I just can't let that happen in front of me. Not even you. Like I don't care what Lumidee is talking about. Like what,
Oh, thank you. Listen, some people
that
love
song is
my voice. It's
that
all
song is
good.
perfectly in key. You are an amazing vocalist, and in this household, you going quadruple platinum. First of
Thank you
all,
very
okay.
much. Listen, I'll take it. I'll take
Come
it.
on. Come on. Hold on. Let me hit the button. Shout out to you and Cheez-Its one time, too. Say something. I wish one of y'all would catch me outside eating cheese. I
Oh
would
my
eat with my
God.
mouth open. I wish y'all would. Look, so some of my last question about
Okay.
this particular, because this is about navigating fame and the expectations and the pressure that comes with having that stage. I
Yeah.
have an audience full of independent artists and DIYers, and so I want to kind of get into your independent journey as well. Never Leave You was bigger than just one moment, but you've said before that it didn't define you completely. You kept
Yes.
creating, you kept
Yes.
touring, and eventually moving into independence. When the spotlight shifted, how did you find the drive to keep going and carve out your own path?
Well, I believe it got more comfortable for me because now it was like, you know, like the pressure was off, right? Because now they're not expecting you to do anything big, right? It's not like they're not looking, they're not like the magnifying glass is not on you. They're looking at somebody else now. They're not, you know, so it kind of allowed me to get back to myself a little. And it's like, all right, get into the mixtapes. I just started recording records that I like. I like this. I'm gonna do a freestyle on this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And I just got back to like the basics. And all of that is what continued my, success. If I just did the record and then I kind of was like, all right, I just leaned on that solely, I don't believe I would still be here today. I continue to get bookings. I continue to get things because I would pop up. Like if you was on World Star, you were seeing a Lumidee video. You were seeing a Lumidee this. I was dropping things. I was doing the things that like most, maybe at the time it wasn't really female friendly. I was moving like if I was like a rapper or like a guy, you know.
Like a rapper. You're funny. Like a
I
rapper.
mean, like a rap. Like
Yeah, like a rapper. What's she talking
I
about?
am a rapper. I'm sorry, but this is the thing. People just knew me as Never Leave You, you know. So a
I
lot
got
of people didn't understand that unless they were like, "Oh, I know Lumi. I know her
you.
mixtape. I know this." So I kind of had to tap back in on that, you know. And I think it was like for me, it was a way more comfortable feeling, and then I managed to get licensing deals, get other deals, and I managed to, in moving that same way, I landed a whole nother record deal, and this is what got me my second album, so I mean the first situation, I mean, long story short, like it was weird. It was a weird situation with me and my production company. So we wind up getting dropped because we didn't submit more music, right? Because the album did fine. They recouped whatever they invested, they recouped it right away. So there was no L's taken on Lumidee. The song enough did it. The song did what it needed to do. That whatever they, and it was pretty much like it was $1 million deal, You know, I didn't get $1 million, of course not.
But you recruit. Like we hear stories on podcasts today where artists are like, I'm 10 years away from the song even being its debut, and I'm still trying to recoup that deal. So that's a hell of accomplishment in its own.
Yeah. So they definitely recouped, and it was fine. So I guess so me and I don't know, we just weren't seeing eye to eye, and I kind of felt a little abandoned from them. So since it was some funny business going on, so they wind up not submitting the music and thinking they could submit other artists. And I didn't even know that I got dropped until we were driving down like downtown area, like by Universal. And I seen the guy, Brother Don, who had signed me to Motown, who brought us up to Motown. And he was like, yo, so he was like, oh, what's going on? And then so we speaking, and he's like, yo, well, what happened? Why didn't y'all send in the music? And I was like, what do you mean? I recorded. And then he was like, oh, I heard they said you was on vacation and you didn't want to record no more, all this. And I was like, why? He was like, yeah. He was like, I was signed to Kadar from Motown. So he was like, yeah, Kadar was ready to do the second album, at least, you know, like give it a shot. So I was like, where? And he was like, yeah. So, you know, they tried to come up there and they was playing some other artists, but Kadar wasn't hearing that. So y'all got dropped. And I was like, oh, okay. That was the news.
That's a hell of a way to find out. Yeah. A conversation like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. And to be honest, I was never on no vacation. I never took a vacation. And I did record some records, but since me and them weren't connecting and they wanted me to sign a paper for a budget, all of this is like real and they know it. So if they watch it, you know, I just got to say, because these are the things that happen. And maybe if we communicated better, that would have not happened that way. You know, nobody was communicating. It was a lot of egos going on, you know, and I just felt abandoned in it all because we started as friends. And once money came, people just started being very, like a power grab, you know, like, oh, let's grab it all before it goes away, you know, where I'm like, oh, okay, we're not in the studio. Oh no, sign this paper. Oh, pay for this soda, pay for this CD that we just burned up for you, 25 cents for this CD. What? You get in an invoice when you walk out the studio and you like, wait.
Wow.
You know, so the shit it was hard for me because I'm like, why we got to do that? Like, I don't know. I just felt betrayed, you know? And so I guess, you know, and then it was a lot of egos, a lot of built up. And that's how it kind of just, that situation fell apart. So I was signed 2003. By 2004, deal was done. Everything was done that quickly. So it happened that fast. But to be honest, it's like God works in mysterious ways because I don't think I needed to get away from that situation. You know, I needed to get away from that situation. And and I was able to build my confidence up going overseas, doing shows, releasing music out there, you know. So when I came back in 2007 with She's Like the Wind and Tony Sunshine and all this, I was like a different version of myself. You know, like a more confident version to where it's all good. I'm me. Like it, you don't like me, cool. Listen to somebody else, but you're not gonna break me down. I'm not gonna cry anymore. You know, like it's not. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So everything happened for a reason. I think I was just allowed to like now like hone in on my talents and my craft more, you know, and do it my way.
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna have to tell
the truth. Gonna tell it. Look, there's so many of my peers that I have gone through the system and have had, you know, their success and then have had their horror stories. And, you know, I sometimes compare the industry to a haunted house that everybody want to get access to, even though they see the other side. You know, so you see some people on the top of the haunted house and they're like, yeah, I think I can aspire to get to that top level. And another side where people look like they're drained and they're dealing with situations you have no idea, personal and professional. But the line is still a long line. That's why it's inspiring. And I think it's also indicative of your character and your work ethic. in that you had your time where you got emotionally hit, but you said back to work. That don't sound like somebody who vacations when it's time to work.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No. I think the first vacation I took after, and it wasn't even a vacation, it was in between me going to another show. I stopped for a few days somewhere. It was, and
how dare me rest? But
yeah,
go ahead.
it was like 2015. I swear to you, like that. Like, nah, I never was like playing with it. I felt like this is what I always wanted to do. So now I have it. I'm not gonna just stop. And now, people do know me. I do have somewhat of a platform, and it was so great that these things started opening up. Like, you could upload your music, you could upload videos. The indie market started opening up at that time, So it was great because it came from the mixtape era into like DVDs, and now you're shooting your own videos, and now you're doing so. Like, definitely leaned heavily into the independent world,
Yeah, and I know we're approaching the hour. I got some questions for you, but I don't want to hold you if I'm beyond your time. How's your time looking?
We're good. I got to 1 o'clock, so we good.
Okay.
1 o'clock my time.
First of all, make sure that y'all hit that like button because Lumidee is in the building. What are you talking about? And she telling the absolute truth about what's going on. Look, this is why I do this channel beyond, reacting to things that are happening in the music industry. I do use this as an opportunity to kind of put the vitamin in the brownie and talk to my fellow peers and independent artists who, they want some of those. They want the fame. Some of them want, the looks, and they don't know the things that come along with it. The internal battles at times that happen. And so I'm loving the transparency because you helping so many people just by telling your story and being honest about it. I'm curious, what lessons did you carry with you, even though it wasn't the most positive situations? What lessons did you carry from your major label experiences into your independent journey?
I guess like try to not like get so emotional from the major labels. To be honest, I don't have no really good experiences from them, because it's so. I never realized that you can actually have fun on a video shoot. You can have fun, like once I got the deal, we shot the first video, and then doing anything with the label always felt like so much pressure to be perfect. And it was almost like I can never be enough, or I can never do enough, or they didn't care about what you like. That was more of the problem. I didn't like a shot. I'm like, I don't like how I look there, or I don't like how I sound here, or I don't like this. Could I not wear this? I don't want to wear this. It was like, oh, she's difficult. She's Hollywood.
Wow.
Literally. So it made you afraid to speak up because now they're saying bad things about you. Or they're like, so these are professional people. You're saying they don't know how to dress you. And I'm like, I want to wear my Timbs. I want to wear Timbs. Like, I don't want
to. Why don't people and I empathize with you, not to railroad your point, but like, why don't people get this is your brand before, during, and after we collaborate? I still gotta. People are seeing my face. They may see your name attached to the project, as the the person that did the catering, but I am here forever. This is my name on my brand. That's
nobody's gonna care about the person you hired or the this or the vision that you have. It looks like it's all my vision, and I was okay with this. And so many things went out that I was not okay with. So once I got it was like, so it's just not a good feeling. I don't know. There's a lot on the line. And at the end of the day, they're just looking at you as, are you going to produce the money we want or not? It's not, so you're just a product, right? And also they want to control the product that you're putting together too, right? So it's like, it's tough because you can't really be completely yourself. So I think when it came to like my images and things like that, it was tough. And I think all around, I just didn't know how to have fun in it. And it took a lot of years to do that, But one thing I would say I understand the power of it as well, right?
Okay.
Because I've gotten so far with this record, right? That I mean, it's made my life, right? It's made like this one record, even though I made it without the label, right? The power of the label being the machine to put my name out there, right? And they can kind of put you in front of things that it's not as easy for you to get yourself, right? So I do feel like it played a part in it, but they can also diminish you, you know? They can just disappear you also. So it's like they can make you and they can completely disappear you. So within that, just use it. Like, let's say you got a major deal. Just understand that's how you got in. Get everything you could get out of it, but don't count on that. You know, don't count on it. You continue after. Use that they made your name a global name, or you made it because it's you, right? But with that help of that machine, now your name is global. Now people know you all around the world. So use that and work your ass off, but you know, do it your way and continue to work even when the label, even if you're on the label.
Yeah.
Even if you catch that deal. Yeah.
I'm gonna restrain myself from pushing the button again because somebody got to tell the truth and you're gonna tell it. Look,
yeah.
And I want to talk about that because I think one thing that I have grown a strong dislike for the older I get is the concept that you see sometimes predominantly in hip hop about an artist falling off.
Oh,
And I feel like they put so much pressure on the artist and so little attention on those responsible for you getting to know the artist, like the machine, for instance, or nobody ever says, "Oh man, the label fell off with that marketing," and it's like that's, you know what I mean, like that is a part of the equation. So to put it on the shoulders of you, it just adds extra pressure when these artists decide to go independent. So I don't like that concept because I'm like it first of all it discredits the work that you're doing independently because you know Lumidee has performed all over the world. All right, let me tell you something about Lumidee.
Exactly.
Especially in places that still show you love overseas. What are some of the most meaningful places your independence has taken you?
Oh, well, meaningful. I did in the Middle East. We did. Man, how am I need to say the right place. I know this place doesn't even exist no more. It's not there anymore. But it was in the Middle East. Is it big? Oh my God, it's gonna come back to me. But it's somewhere in the Middle East. We did this huge festival. I was extremely scared to go there. Like they were like, you go to it was like armed, like military of their military out there. They pop the trunk open, they're searching everything. And the hotels, they're doing this, they take your passports from you. So it was like so scary. And I'm like, bro, I don't even want to do this. Like, I don't even want to do this. Like, so I took it like we're going on here and let's get on really quick and go. That when I went on the stage, the kind of screams that I heard, like in a good way, it was so overwhelming that I kind of like lost my breath before I even started because I didn't expect it. You know, like it took me out and I was like, I was so scared to come here and these people showed me more love than anything I could have imagined, you know, to the point I did the show and they were like screaming for more. So I'm like, well, I don't got anything prepared. Like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I don't got, so then I think we did like another record, but it was like the roars and the screams and them just being so excited. And it was this, you know, it was like a country where they go to, they're at war, you know, and these people are just like so happy that you came to see them, you know, happy that you putting on a show for them. So those shows like that, when you go to these foreign countries that, you know, people walking barefooted in the dirt with rocks and they're like at the same time like happy to see, I don't know, it's like it's weird, but like the hate is not there, you know, like we have so much here and we like hate on each other or jealous of each other or this, but yet these people have like so much less, right? And they're happier and they welcome you
Yeah.
with these open arms, and not with the, oh, look at you, you got this or you got that, and I don't have that. No, they're just like, so I don't know. I think that traveling the world's opened my eyes to just like, there's just so much more than the material things,
Yeah.
like, of course we love to look good and all that, but like, people don't know what they're gonna eat and all this, and we have that also here in United States. But I don't know, it just opened my eyes to so much more, and I think those are like the ones that stand out to me, like leaving the country, and I had one of my first shows where they went crazy for me in Rumba nightclub. That was like very, like that was like that moment where I was like, oh wow,
Right.
feeling that feeling from your peers and your people, and everybody from there, like we all come from the same kind of upbringing. And one of my first shows when the record hit, like I felt the trembles on the stage, like the people would be, and I started crying and
During the show?
yes, like
Oh,
what
wow.
before I even went out, like I cried because it was like, I was like, wow, this is like, and I understood that because those people there were like the first people rooting for me. They were hearing Grimy Streets, they were hearing these other records. So they like, yo, this is one of us. Like we heard her records before anybody was playing it on the radio, before anything. So it was like that moment, and it felt like it was our moment, like the whole thing was like our moment. And it was before even the album came out and stuff. So but the deal came in. So like, shout out to the Bronx, shout out to Rumba nightclub, shout out to Spanish Harlem, like all of those. Those are the two shows in my life that stand out like crazy. I'm gonna get the country it is. I don't want to mess it up.
Take your time.
Yeah,
Take your time.
it's gonna come.
I'd rather you take your time with it than put the wrong one. They like, what you mean?
No, I cannot say that. No, it gotta be right. It gotta be right.
It's funny because there's a documentary, and I want to get to your studio albums, but there's a documentary that I saw called Search for Sugar Man. You ever saw it?
Search for what?
Search for Sugar Man. I know that sounds crazy, but
that sounds crazy, yeah.
sounds great. But it was a song that was called Sugar Man. It's like I believe it was either the 60s or 70s, and it was an artist that was supposed to be like the next big thing. And he didn't even have his moment for that song to shine the way that it did. I believe he was based in Detroit. It's a crazy documentary where they're searching for the artist because, his deal fell through. He wasn't heard from. He got a regular 9 to 5. Little did he know his song became, I forget where specifically in Africa, it became like the anthem of a revolution. And meanwhile, he working a regular construction job. He like living really humbly. And the documentarians find him and take him over to this country in Africa, sold out stadium. He's driving down in a limousine. Mind you, he's like in his 60s at this point, I believe, 50s or 60s. He drives down and he sees, I'm getting goosebumps as I talk about it. He sees these, these signs with his face on it. Like for the first time, you're seeing a concert from, the Sugar Man. That's not his name, but that's, that's he goes there, and I tell you, it's a sold out stadium, and they know his songs lyric for lyric. I just can't imagine what that, you know what I mean? What that would do.
Especially years later, you think it's never, right? It's never going to ever happen for you. And you don't realize it's happening. This is what I mean. That's God's timing.
Crazy. So I think about that.
It's never over.
It's never over. And to continue the theme of your shirt, it ain't over till God says it's over. And I'll wait. I'm glad God got better patience than I do. I'll tell you that right now. It's been sometimes I was like, God, this the time. This the time. No. This ain't the time.
Just wait. Yep.
So after your debut album, Almost Famous, you did not stop creating. Obviously, you kept building your catalog. But I want to say, let me see if I can find exactly where that was. Because like I said, I bought your album. I went, got your album.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the support.
I went to Music Warehouse at the Stonewood Mall, and I got that album. Mostly because that we'll get to that. But I want to talk about, first of all, after the debut. We're gonna go a little out of order, but you didn't stop creating. You kept building your catalog. After Almost Famous, you dropped Unexpected in 2007. I believe you were with TVT at that point, right?
TVT,
Okay.
yeah. And Mach 1, because I had an overseas deal.
Okay.
And we recorded, and they pretty much were like the bank, you know, they were funding everything. And
Right.
that's how, you know, we had She's Like the Wind, and then TVT over here was like, oh, we want this record.
What did that album? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, because we kind of like did the same, got the situation to where they started playing She's Like the Wind on the radio too. And there was no deal here. So it was like, you know, the grind that just kind of just gets you right back there. Yeah.
Yeah. What did that album represent for you at the time?
Oh, it was great. It was it definitely, once again, was it's the title. It was unexpected. Nobody thought they would see me coming again, you know, like in this manner, you know, like the way it was. And it felt good. It felt like but to be honest, it's like I never really had a doubt that I was gonna get this situation again,
Right.
you know, or get like, so I was happy that She's Like the Wind, I was rapping on it, you know. I was excited about that because I'm like, okay, so this record hit, you know, Tony's singing on there, I'm doing little, you know, melodic melodies on there, but my rap verses is what's popping on this record for me. So it just opened that door to, I'm like, okay, so now they know this. So now we got, you know, like, and overseas it was happening already. You know, I had the dance record with Fat Man Scoop for the FIFA World Cup. I was rapping on that, and that went crazy. We had a FIFA World Cup record, you know. So
like, what?
Exactly, like we had a FIFA World Cup record, and so having that, you know, it was good because it was like it came full circle for me. You know, that I was able to like just show both things, and it's like, you know, we did this again with all the odds stacked against us, you know. And I always say we because I'm such a we person, like I'm such a team person. Like it's we is like whoever was producing, whoever was with me at the time, whoever was helping me push, you know, whether they're here or not, it was always a we situation, you know. But we as in very small, never a big team. Yeah.
That's crazy to have those kind of opportunities. And like you said, like the team was very small.
Yeah.
Did the we include your Tims? Did they
Of course, so we included the Tims.
So that's that. I'm asking the hard hitting questions here. Does it include the Tims because they tried to take the Tims away?
Important for a New York girl. I mean, I eventually let them go because they started being very uncomfortable. Right. But yeah, but it definitely was something that felt like when you put them on, you're you know, like I'm me now, you know.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I only been in New York 3 times, and I went one time, and I didn't know there were certain seasons that people don't wear Tims, or they wear them a little less. Because somebody said, because they real brash out there in on the streets. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was like, "Niggas wearing the butters right now." I was like, "What am I doing wrong?
What am I doing wrong?"
I just came out here as somebody from California trying to show love. They was like, I forget what period. It might have been like summer. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, they were offended by it. And that's when I said, I know nothing. I know nothing.
I know nothing. But I wear my Tims in the summer, so I don't know what's the problem.
I don't know what's going on.
It could be did you have the Tims without the brown leather on the top? Did you have the naked Tims?
I probably was just wearing them like a square. They probably knew like you don't wear Tims.
Yeah, because you know that's one thing. You know they have the Tims that don't have the brown cushion on the top.
Right.
If you got those, they kind of like, those are not too cool.
I got whatever was cost efficient. I got whatever was cost efficient at the moment, Lumidee.
Exactly. So
I might have had.
You probably had the butt naked joints.
I probably had some Himalayans. They even Himalayans. Had some Himalayans.
Oh my God! Listen.
I know we jumped.
The New Yorker, you popped out with the Tims though. So
I tried to show love.
Exactly.
I'm a Cali boy, and I tried to I ain't never worked.
You didn't have to do it. You know.
I tried to do what I could.
The Chucks, right? You could have came in the Chucks.
I could have came in the Chucks. Why do both regions have such uncomfortable shoes? Like those are not shoes made for comfort.
Uncomfortable too. really, and even to get them on, like the high
Oh
top,
my God.
like
I feel
you
like
gotta loosen all the laces. And
my feet are still touching the pavement when I put
yo,
Chucks on.
it's crazy. They look good though. They cool. They cool.
They're cool. That's what it's all about.
Timeless.
I know I'm jumping around the timeline, but in 2017, you came back with 1013, which to me felt like a really personal album for you. Can you talk about what that project meant for you creatively and personally?
Well, 1013 was recorded during like a lot of it was recorded during COVID, like the 2020, you know, so the pandemic time, we were stuck. We were all locked in the houses and stuff like that. So I kind of just tapped in, and at the same time, I don't know, it was just things were so uncertain, but I locked in with my boy, this producer, Ibrahim. So we had the same birthday, so we kind of just connected musically, and that's why we called it 1013, because that's my birthday, his birthday, you know. So he did most of the production on there, and I just was like, I wanted to be the adult me, like do the music you listen to, do the music you vibe to, and what you know, how do you feel now? So certain beats, he would come up with stuff, and it's like, oh, bam, I like that. I'm right into that. I'm right into that. And once we heard a bunch of the records, I was like, I think we got a little project here. We might as well just put it out. Like, what am I waiting for? There's been times I've done records and dropped a lot of singles, but I never put them on a whole project. You know, like 2014 was a time, 2015. I have records like Mars, Be Good. And these were like bangers, but I never put them in a project, you know? So I was like, I want to put all this in a project because it felt cohesive. It's one of those things that you just vibe to. And the whole project was a vibe. And it was like the adult me, you know?
Right.
Like, yeah, it felt like this is grown Lumi right here, you know?
Yeah.
So
It sounded like you. It sounded like you. It's almost like the Last Dragon. You know, the Leroy gets the glow. It's like you knew. You was like, I'm in my element. I know.
Oh,
Look,
I love that. I love the Last Dragon. First of all,
back up. Look. Do you know that? Like now at this point, I'm a veteran in the game. I done seen some things. Look, I got this. It just there was a level of control over your vocals, and I think that's something that a lot of artists, you know, even legends lose control as they kind of dip into acting and get kind of pulled into different directions. It was something that I saw, you know, the evolution. And I'm gonna keep the next questions after this is gonna keep getting into your rapping, because I need to make sure I stress that. But looking back, how do you see your own growth across Almost Famous, Unexpected, and 1013?
I think I'm less. I've definitely grown a lot. I wasn't scared to try things, you know, to if you hear that harmony, try it. And if you can't hit it, you can't hit it. Then we don't use it, you know, but you're in the studio, try these things, you know. A friend of mine told me this before. He was like, you know, I want to hear you do more ad-libs. I want to hear you do more. He's like, you know, this is the studio. This is where you play. Like, don't overthink it. Just scream, do this, do that. Like, you in your head too much. You could do it. Like, just, this is where you experiment and you try the things. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. So I took that, you know, and it sat with me. And when he was telling me, maybe for the most part, I didn't do it then, but it you know, I'm a late bloomer, you know, with things. So
It planted a seed. That's all that had to happen.
It always worked on me. So at that time, I was like, okay, I feel it here. I'm gonna try it here. So I did more ad-libs. I did more building up the record, and it worked. And I felt very. I'm still am. I'm very proud of this project. You know, I wish I would have did more for it, but that goes back into the, you know, building content and doing this, and then, and to be honest, I was pregnant at that time, so I had my son in 2020. Well, and then we dropped the project right after that, so it was still like adjusting to the world again, you know, like with the new baby. Now people are back outside, but we don't know what's gonna happen. It was just a weird time, but the project really means a lot to me. It's definitely the evolution of me. I feel like definitely,
by you saying, to be honest, you just gave me the ultimate alley-oop right now. So shout out to your point guard skills right now. Like I said earlier, I bought Almost Famous for Music Warehouse and down in California. Some of my favorites, Beyond Never Leave You, were Go With Me. You had such a Charlie Baltimore, Foxy Brown type of, like, it was so.
I listened to all those girls. I mean, those were the girls. I mean, they were fire.
Your voice, it cut through, and I'm a fan of your rapping, so I just want to let you know that.
So much. Me is definitely one of those. Yes.
Yeah.
Is special. Yeah.
And then also a song called Honestly.
Oh, yes.
Transition.
Honestly.
Okay.
Yes.
Fast forward 20 years, you dropped Honestly 3000. What made you want to revisit that song now? And how does this version reflect who you are today compared to when you first wrote it?
Okay. So Honestly was one of those records that it came out before Never Leave You, right? So Honestly is the mother of Never Leave You. Never Leave You is the remix to Honestly. So I don't know who I thought I was at the time. I'm like, okay, I got a remix for Honestly, and it was Never Leave You. So that was the remix to it. So people originally really loved Honestly, like in the clubs and on mixtapes. So when Never Leave You popped, Honestly should have came after, because people wanted this record, and it was kind of like already tried, people knew it, and it worked where I was from, and it was very much so me. But we didn't, the label didn't go with that record. So, and that's one of those records when anybody talks to me, they're like, yo, Honestly was my joint. Honestly was my joint. So 20-year anniversary was coming up, and I was like, I got to do something, So the anniversary passed and everything, but I was like, we're still in the 20-year mark. Right. And I was like, I wish I could redo Honestly, but I don't want to mess it up. So one day, link with my boy Ibrahim. We in his crib recording. I got my equipment and everything there, and we drinking wine. And I'm like, I want to beat like this, right? So I'm like, boom, boom. But I'm telling him all this, and then he's so nice with it. He's like, just doing it. And I was like, yes. So then I was like, I could do Honestly to this. So I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to write to that. I was going to do this. And then it just, as I'm hearing it, I was like, wait. And I'm singing the melody and like flipping it. And I was like, oh, I'm ready to record. Let's go. Yeah. So we just started doing all the parts, and then, he's nice with it. He's doing the echoes. He's chopping it up. And I was like, yes, this is, it felt so fire. So I had that for a little while, and I was going to drop it. I didn't, because I was like, something is missing. And I would play it for people, and people like, oh, they liked it. And it feels like dreamy, everything. But, it was one of those records I played for people. I don't really play stuff because I like feedback, but sometimes I don't want to get in my head too much about it. Yeah. So I'm like, so I noticed that something was missing in the record, like something has to happen. And I was like, okay, if I'm gonna go, I think I need to put a rap verse in it. So I hit my boy Eve up, and I was like, okay, I need a rap verse for Honestly 3000. Make me a space for a rap verse. Right. And he made the space, and I kind of knew that I wanted to be playful on it. I didn't want to take it too serious. And I just didn't, like, the original Honestly is about love, right? And being in love with this person. But now the new Honestly is like, we in love with a new person. It's not that person no more. So, we're going to go in on the X a little bit. Like right. I'm talking about you no more. I'm talking about somebody else now. But it's all in good fun. And it's all, so we just played with it, and it felt like I didn't want it to be so serious. I wanted it to be slick, and I was like, I gotta really hone in on this, and it just came together. Like it came together.
Look, let me tell you, I told you this on the phone the other. Let me share with the audience real quick. When it come to that song, Honestly 3000, when I was listening to it and I was doing my research and listening to like the newer music and whatnot, I listened to, I'm like, that's Lumidee D singing. Okay, we in there. And then I heard a rap verse, and I was like, shout out to Lumidee looking out for, you know, an artist on the come up. Like, she's dope. I was like, this rapper is dope. I'm like, what is her name? Because, you know,
What is her name? What is her name?
I stay up to date with, like, you know, like female MCs. I stay up to date, and I was looking, and I was like, okay, well, they're not in the credits. Then I see a video where you kind of like are performing it, and I said, is she showing love, or did she? Hold on, did she rap this?
Wait, did it not sound like me?
No, because I was my mind
in a long time.
I hadn't heard you rapping for a long time, and there was a certain like, sir, you getting us in the. I'm hearing you doing a different type of flow and a different voice that sounds.
It was definitely different. You know.
What?
Yeah.
I'm over here giving you props. I'm like,
my boy did. He was like, you gotta come at this different. Like, just
no.
You know, like, don't be scared. You gotta come at it different, because it did feel more youthful, right?
Yeah.
But still me.
It didn't sound like you were trying to keep up with anything. It sounded like you were just in a very authentic space. And I think that was a thing that blew me away, because I was like giving you props for, like, that's a real queen right there. You know, you using her influence and bringing somebody. No, that's her rapping.
That's a real queen right there. But
I got a whole scenario in my head. Like, I'm starting like to build what she looked like. And I'm like, oh, okay, she probably, you know what I'm saying, from the block. And oh, that's Lumidee, stupid. I did not know.
Well,
look,
yeah, she's still from the block, you know.
Come on, she is, but it's Lumidee though. Do you feel like people forget that side of you? We're talking about the rapping specifically, and what has been the key to your rap voice evolving into what it is today?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just not being afraid, you know, like I've done things a certain way, right? And it's like, okay, try to go. If that feels comfortable, maybe you gotta get a little uncomfortable.
Right.
You know, get a little bit uncomfortable, but then hear it enough to where you like, yeah, this is me, right? This is me. Like, this is a version of me. I could be this, you know, I could come at things this way. I don't gotta always stay the same. So it's just not being afraid to evolve, you know. I think and trying things, and then not overthinking it, you know. And having fun, you know, having fun with things, because, and being honest, we got to tell our stories within that, you know. Like, to me, loyalty is a very important thing for me, you know, which we speak about on Honestly 3000. Like, I think that's the main thing. And I didn't really realize that till I got older, that I'm like, God damn, I stood in a lot of situations because I'm just so damn loyal, you know, like, but because you're searching for that same loyalty also, you know. So I think it goes to say, like, if you find that in something, whether it's a friend, it's a business partner, it's, you know, I think loyalty goes down with, like, being honest, you know. Like, we don't be loyal to a fault. You don't be loyal and dumb, like, but you know, like, because that happens too. Like, you know, like, I'm so loyal that I'm gonna agree with everything you say. No, that's not what it is. Like, let's be honest with our loyalty, but being loyal is just being real, you know, being real with a person.
Somebody told me one time, and I'll never forget this quote: "Don't let your loyalty be confused with slavery." Exactly. And that just resonated with me, because I'm the same way. I can be loyal to a fault, to where, you know, I blind myself in the process, following through and saying, well, this is what I would expect of somebody that is loyal to me, and I'm going to show up. But, you know, sometimes it could blind you from doing what's actually best in that situation for yourself and the other person.
Yeah, that's that blind loyalty. Is true. It's a real thing. And I mean, I think people who are that way, even though you're loyal to a fault, and maybe you've kind of hindered yourself being loyal, like, you get yours after it all, you know, like, you're gonna get your blessings after it all, because you're coming from a good place. People take advantage of that sometimes, you know. Well, most times people take advantage of that, and we continue to give them that loyalty. But ultimately, when you're coming from a good place, and you're going to get that karma back. Whatever you give, you're going to get it back, you know? So I believe in all of that. So I'm never, like, mad about me being loyal to, like, the wrong situation or anything. Cause I'm like, listen, I think I've gotten so many things so much later in life that I was like, I'm glad that I held on. You know, I'm glad that I held on, and there
Right.
is a light. You know, like, well, we're not at the end of the tunnel, but as you continue, you know.
Right. Well, it reinforces, and I had this conversation with an artist friend of mine, and that it pays to be a good person. I know that sounds cliche,
Yes,
especially
yes,
in an industry that is still cutthroat as ever, and
yeah.
people are, kind of even bragging about how much of a demon that they can be, and how they can
Lord,
forget
I
about
can't say
people.
those demon
I
words. I'm
can't.
afraid I don't even don't
I
even
can't.
send demon emojis.
I don't
Like
want it. I don't.
who
You know what?
who
My delayed gratification is finally gratification. I'm not gonna have you come in here
no
messing with the recipe. It works.
no.
Look,
Yeah,
I got just a few more questions for you. I so appreciate you. Like, this is so dope.
okay. Thank
Let
you.
me
Thank
remind the
you.
audience once again.
We're having coffee.
Put some respect on my like button. I'm having coffee with Lumidee on a Tuesday, talking about music. Are you kidding me? What is life? Look, when it comes to your brand, Lumidee, I immediately think of the slogan, Queen of Spanish Harlem. Where did that title come from, and what does it mean to you personally?
Well, I mean, it's me always being that girl no matter what, you know, me always remembering where I came from, you know, like I'm always put on for that girl, you know, whether it's not me, there's a version of me out there, there's a girl out there that's just like me going through that. So I feel like no matter where I go on this journey, that is who I'm that girl, whether I've evolved or anything. Well, I have evolved, not whether I've evolved. I have evolved, but I'm still her. You know, I'm always going to be that girl. So it's just like owning it, owning where you come from, owning all the things that it gave you, all the blessings, all the hard times, everything about it. You know, so I just like I love I love where I came from. I love my people. And I think that's kind of just like me honoring it all the way, you know,
Yeah.
not saying I'm higher than anyone else, you know, but I'm a queen from Spanish Harlem, you know, like, but I'm not going to say I'm a queen. I'm the queen because
Right,
I
right.
really went out, you know, I'm out here and I put on for my people and and I would hope that I set a good example, you
Mhm.
know, and, I'm always trying to be respectful. And I do think of being like, you know, a lot of people don't want to be a role model. I don't mind it. I don't mind if you look at my story and feel like, okay, I want to, you don't got to be like me, but take advice. I want to give advice. I want to like, and I don't want to have to cover my kids' ears when they hear my music.
Hmm.
Whereas,
Talk
oh,
about it.
this is not, you know, like more power to anybody who's doing that. But for me, that just doesn't work. So I'm just trying to be like honorable. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like I'm just trying to bring that part. And this is why, you know, Queen fits and she's from Spanish Harlem. Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Look, what we did, we just become friends. Cause look, my name is Curtis King. Let me say, did we just become friends? Because my name is Curtis King. You know why my name is Curtis with two S's?
Tell me.
I went to a middle school in Carson called Curtis Middle School, and I
Oh,
was the complete opposite. I was an introvert. I did not want to speak up for myself. I was
oh
very
wow.
like quiet. The complete opposite of those insecurities is how I've grown into, and that's when I
Yes.
conquered Curtis, I became Curtis
Yeah,
King. So
exactly.
that
Yeah.
idea of attaching where you're from, no matter where you go, I think is such a powerful thing because it grounds you, and it reminds you that there are people that are looking at you and saying, if she can do it, I think I can do the thing that I'm pursuing.
Exactly. Yes.
Mhm.
Whatever that is. And you could do it without like I hate the word sell out. I hate the word sell out, but without like compromising your dignity or your
Integrity,
your
yeah, come on.
integrity, your own self-respect, you know, like you can be who you naturally are. Like, you know, I mean, be obviously elevated versions of ourselves, you know, but you can be you. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it pays to be that. I mean, I assume there's so many relationships that are still here because of the good way that you have treated people, and anybody that I've ever asked about you, especially over this last week, has been nothing but positive energy. You could see it in their face. They light up. Like, Lumidee,
Oh,
yeah.
that's great. That's I love that. I love that. I mean, it's been a journey, and I feel like, I'm glad that people have gotten to know me. I think sometimes I have been misrepresented, by just some people that I've worked with. And so people kind of judge me because of their actions, and not really knowing me personally. So it's good to know that there's people that see the genuine, who I really am, besides that, even if they come across that,
Yeah. So I appreciate you. Your most recent single, Follow, sounds fresh. It sounds reflective. Even the visuals, like it seems symbolic of a new chapter.
Yes.
What is the story behind it? How does it
Yeah.
how does it capture where you are, especially in this chapter of life?
Wow. Okay. So shout out to Just. He's out there in LA, who produced this record, Just B Reigns, but I know him as Just. This record was done also. Shout out to I'll Be Back. He sent me this beat, and these words just came to me, right? Like I played it, and it was like, wait, this feels like church. I don't know why it feels like church, right? But like the words came to me, and at this time, this was a long time ago. This record was created ending of 20. I want to say it was ending of 28, like 2019. This record was created in 2019. Recorded. I did this then. It was supposed to come out then. I didn't do it, and I went a whole nother route. And this when I started recording 1013 a little bit after, because I wasn't there yet. I wasn't what I was saying yet. And I have a problem with not being honest. Like it's weird because like my music is such a, like, I know some people could talk about things that they're not living, and you can do that, but I'm so attached to the music that I feel like I don't want to say this. I'm not there yet. I wasn't there yet. So as I'm recording and doing music now, I had a couple records I was going to drop, but for some reason, Follow kept popping in my brain. Mind you, it's been very far in the emails, in the, your artist, how that looks. We got a bunch of records that are just sitting there.
Yeah.
And I had even newer records, but something was like, I don't feel right dropping these other records. Like it's kind of like read the room, right? Like with what's happening in the world and where I'm at, like spiritually, and how I'm staying grounded is this. Like I have to tap in with. I'm tapping in with God. I'm tapping in with my spirituality. I'm listening to, I'm reading, short versions of the Bible. I'm not a Bible. I don't really know much, but I have to grab onto something because there's so much happening. And we're absorbing so much information every day, while we're scrolling, and some of it is, and then we're seeing like horrific things. And then on that same timeline, you're seeing like very glamorous and things are like, so it's just such a,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm so confused, but ultimately, as I'm going through all of this, Follow kept coming up, and it was like, this is the time for Follow. And I'm listening to it, and it kind of made me cry because I was like, oh my God, this is literally me today. Like this is me today. Everything I was saying, it's like I forgot about the record, and this is literally where I'm at with my faith, with how I'm living my life, everything. So, and I feel like it's the right message for now. Like it's like we have to lean into like the greater, like the greater powers out there. Like, I mean, it's just tough. We need something to stand on, and you need your faith today. And that's where I'm at with this record. And also we refreshed it. I spoke to my boy Saga, who's an artist, also battle rapper. He sings amazingly. So we've been talking about doing something. He hit me, I did something for him, and then we're talking, and I'm like, not gonna lie, I've been listening to like worship music lately, and I got some things in the tug, but I'm not sure. He does this. He's heavily like, he'll rap about God, he'll eat you up in a battle and speak like it's God. you know? So it's like, you know, so I'm like, you know, maybe he's the right person to, so I was like, I want to send you this and see what you think. Mind you, it took me 2 months to send it to him, right? So then I send it to him finally, and he calls me right back and he's like, yo, this is crazy. Like, and he's like, do you mind if he's like, I hear some backgrounds that could be on there. Would you mind if I like touch? I was like, make it great. Whatever you do, like, let's make it great. Go ahead. Like, you know, I've been wanting to work on something with you, and maybe this is that thing, you know. So he sent me back him doing all those, you know, harmonies in the back and just yeah, just building up, you know, like just tucked himself right behind me, and he's just like repeating and filling it, and it just, I was like, he took it to church for me. Like he took it all the way, you know, and it just felt, it just feels great, and it's definitely this new chapter for me, you know, and everything, and you know, and I'm on it still, you know. We gotta, it's not like I'm 100% every day, you know. Some days you gotta, but like I said, there's down days, there's up days, but you gotta always tap back in with God, you know, or whatever it is that you believe in, whoever it is, whatever you call him, whatever it is, you know, whether it's, because it starts with little things, you know, whether it's like you know, you lighting your sage, or you know, your incense, or you know, got your crystals, wherever you're getting that energy from, you know, we need, everything is energy. We need more positive energy out here, you know. And I'm just I'm learning as I go, you know. And the more that I put out, I'm feeling it coming back. I see it. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. So it's like, you know, I'm just trying to move on that and live in that, and share it. Not be afraid to share it, you know, because I can't just give you a record where I'm just like going in on the X again, you know. Like I
mean, you know, that's what the label.
I have them, but I'm like, there's a time. We'll figure out a way to work that in, but this is where we at, you know, and let's go on this journey, because this is what it is, you know.
See, and this is another reason why I'm so honored to have a conversation with you today, because I believe that beyond your specific contribution, beyond your specific voice, beyond your you know, thematic writing and your concepts, I think that your energy and energies like yours are very important now, where you know, everything is, when you look on your timeline, everything is so fake. You don't know now whether it's AI or whether it's real life. You don't know if people are showing highlights of their life and if it's really, you know, representative of where they're at mentally. And I think people are starving for authentic moments and energy. And this is a perfect time for people with good hearts. It's a perfect time for people with integrity. It doesn't feel like it all the time because you got to cut through so much nonsense to get your message across.
Yeah.
But I do feel like this is the time. And it's another reason why I, like, you know, I'm in the media space now, and I've been, you know, doing interviews and I do my content, but my love is music. And I feel so out of balance when I'm not working on music. So I'm getting in a place where I'm getting myself ready for the next project and all of that. But having these are very therapeutic of conversations. And it leads me to some of my last two questions for you.
Okay.
I promise you, I thank you for your time.
Of course.
What is Lumidee most proud of that fans might not know?
Oh. Okay. Something came to my brain. Okay, there's two things.
Is Cheez-It's one of them?
No, okay. I am most proud of, you know, being a mom, raising, you know, my kids, like being their sole provider, being just that for them, like day in and day out. It's like there's no job greater than that, you know. And I love that they know that they could count on me, you know. I'm very proud of that. That even being an artist, like I put in all of these things, me being a mom is the most important thing, you know.
Right.
So being a mom, and recently getting a license. I know it's kind of stupid putting it next to being a mom, but yeah, I got my license. I never drove. I'm a New Yorker, right?
Really? Oh, that's right. I forgot. Like, you know what? Immediately when you said I'm a New Yorker, at first I was like, oh, that's interesting. When you said I'm a New Yorker, I said, y'all ain't got to.
I'm a New Yorker. So listen, I've had cars for years. I bought them, been driven around, there is no freedom or no taking your power like driving, like getting behind the wheel and driving. And it's never too late, y'all. It's really never too late. I just got my license coming on almost 2 years. In October, it will be 2 years. And yeah, like that to me, I thought it would never ever happen. I know it sounds like a small thing, but when I took that test and I sat down, I thought I passed, and the guy was like, "You're good, you passed. Go over there." And I mean, this guy was joking the whole time while I'm driving. So I'm like, oh my God, like what is going on? Like, so, and then after I was like looking at him like, okay, what happened? And he was like, "You're good, you passed. Go over there and go get your thing, go take your picture." And I was like, I sat down and I'm like just sitting there and my eyes are getting watery. And I'm like, oh God.
That's dope though.
Yes. I mean, it was such an accomplishment. You know,
it is. So you wait, you trying to tell me, because I got my license, you know, I mean, relatively late, I guess, at 18. And you trying to tell me I went and got your album and rode around in my Ford Taurus. And you wasn't even thinking about driving at that time. I'm riding around. You know, I'm gonna be real transparent with you. You know, I'm around rapidy rappers. Yeah. And if I had to go make that a solo trip to go get your album, because like they was gonna think I was simping. They was think I was simping. Like my boy, you're not trying to get that.
Cool. It was not cool. Go ahead.
You're not trying to get that new 50 Cent. What you mean you about to go get that new Lumidee? Mind your business.
And they all came out at the same time. You're right about that. Yo, you man though. You see, that shows you an original. You are a thinker for yourself. You didn't care what people say. You went and got that Lumidee album. Hello. Like, come on. I mean, and look at how far you've come.
Come on.
You know?
Look, I give all the credit to the Lumidee album. I'm going to say that right now. Who it is. Shout out to my very last question.
Okay.
When people talk about Lumidee years from now, what do you hope they'll say?
Wow. What do I hope they say? I mean, I don't know. She made me smile. You know, she was a real one, and she made me smile. I think I like to make people smile.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy. It's not
today. It ain't a whole lot to smile about it. You gotta find your moments. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So,
yeah, I guess I didn't really think of that one, but yeah, I think that's important. Yeah.
Yeah. And plus it's not like you are anywhere near completing your mission. You still got
we got so many
missions, side missions, and what?
I got businesses in the works that are coming. Love Fire is coming. This is I'm doing like a wellness thing, and Love Fire is coming, and that should be dropping soon. Follow up on my socials. It'll be posting. I've been working on this for years, but I'm pushing myself to put everything out. The time is now. AI is catching up with us, and they're about to do all our own things. So now I got to do it before somebody else does.
AI ain't catching up to nobody. AI can't do what Lumidee did. What AI would have tried to do would have never leave you. They would have never leave you. AI would have been like, this is what I'm gonna do. You don't know why we got love for Lumidee. You don't know nothing. You don't know. Your intelligence is artificial. Put some respect on our name. Come on, look.
Right about that.
Round of applause for Lumidee, the legend in the building.
Thank you so much. This is really dope. I'm glad we did this.
I'm honored. I'm thankful for your time. I don't want to get in the way of those tickets for your daughter.
I hope they still.
You feel me? So
pray for me. I hope they're still there. I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know if I got them.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Lumidee. I genuinely appreciate everybody who's been tapping in. Everybody's in here. They're excited. They're inspired by the words that you shared. Make sure you go follow her up on all the socials. Look inside the description of this actual video. You will find all those links, the website links, the link tree that leads you to all of the music. In case you need to go play catch up, go do that. Look, Lumidee cooking and got some things ready to release. I'm excited for you. Yes. And once again, I'm honored and I thank you for your time.
No, thank you. More content on the way. Follow visuals and all that is coming. And check out the new music, y'all. Thank you. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.
DIYers,
if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Don't be greedy. Peace.